Is there any feeling in the world heavier than the pit in your stomach when you look at your toddler and worry they are just too small? Or when you visit the pediatrician and watch that percentile line drop even a tiny bit and you feel like you have failed? I know that specific panic because I have been there staring at a toddler who seems to run on air and 3 Cheerios while I am losing sleep, wondering if they are getting enough fuel to grow their brain and their bones. It is exhausting to spend an hour cooking a nutritious meal only to have it thrown on the floor or ignored completely, and it is easy to spiral into thinking that you are doing something wrong. But I want you to take a deep breath right now because you are not failing, you are just up against biology. Toddlers are notoriously tricky eaters, and today we are going to fix this together, not by forcing them to eat more food, which never works, but by changing what is in the bites they are actually willing to take. We are going to cover 10 nutritious high-calorie foods that will help your toddler gain weight effectively, and I am going to give you the exact ways to serve them so they actually get eaten. Plus, we will cover the invisible calorie hack that most parents do not know about, which can change everything overnight. Before we dive into the food list, consider subscribing to this channel if you like this type of content. First, we need to understand the why, because once you get this, the frustration really goes down. Your toddler is growing faster right now than they ever will again, aside from infancy, but their stomach is only about the size of their own fist. Imagine a tennis ball that is all the room we have to work with. If we fill that tiny space with foods that have low calorie density like plain crackers, watery fruits, or juice, they get physically full before they have consumed enough energy to gain weight. It is not that they are starving themselves, it is that their tank is full of low-octane fuel. Our goal today is to swap that fuel for high-octane premium energy so that even if they only take 3 bites, those 3 bites are packed with the fats and proteins they need to thrive. Let's start with food number 1, which is the absolute king of healthy weight gain, and that is avocado. You probably know avocados are healthy, but did you know they are one of the only fruits that provide a substantial amount of monounsaturated fatty acids, which are crucial for brain development? A single cup of avocado has around 230 calories, which is massive for a toddler. The problem is, the texture can be hit or miss for some kids, so here is how we hack it. Do not just serve slices if they hate mushy textures, instead try making a chocolate avocado pudding by blending ripe avocado with cocoa powder and a little maple syrup, because the creaminess mimics dairy perfectly and they will never know they are eating a vegetable. You can also spread it on toast, like butter, or blend it into a fruit smoothie where it adds creaminess without a strong flavor. Food number 2 is nut and seed butters, like peanut butter, almond butter, or sunflower seed butter. These are calorie-dense goldmines because just 1 tablespoon packs nearly 100 calories and 7 grams of fat. Now, I know parents worry about choking hazards, so never give a toddler a glob of peanut butter on a spoon because it is too sticky. Instead, you want to spread it thinly on toast or crackers, or my favorite trick is to swirl it into warm oatmeal so it melts and becomes part of the cereal. If your child has a nut-free school or allergy, sunflower butter is a fantastic alternative that has almost the exact same calorie profile. This is an easy win because most toddlers love the taste and it requires 0 cooking time, which is a huge bonus for us tired parents. Food number 3 is full-fat dairy, specifically Greek yogurt and cheese. Please listen closely here because this is a common trap parents fall into. In the 90s, we were all told that low fat was better, but for toddlers, under 2, and even up to 3 years old, fat is essential for brain growth. When you buy the cute kids yogurts, check the label because many of them are low fat and high sugar. You want to buy plain full-fat Greek yogurt, which has double the protein of regular yogurt, and mix in your own fruit or honey if they are over 1. Cheese is another powerhouse because you can melt it over almost anything. If they are eating broccoli, melt cheddar on it. If they are eating scrambled eggs, grate Parmesan in. It is an easy way to add 50 to 100 calories to a meal without adding any bulk that makes them feel too full to finish. This brings us to food number 4, which is eggs, but specifically the yolk. I see so many parents giving toddlers just the egg whites because they think it is the healthy protein part, but the yolk is where all the healthy fats and choline live, and choline is vital for brain function. If your toddler is picky about the texture of scrambled eggs, try making egg muffins. You whisk eggs with cheese and spinach, pour them into a muffin tin and bake them. They are easy for little hands to hold and the texture is more like a bread than a wet egg. Another great option is French toast, using whole milk and soaking the bread thoroughly so they get all that egg nutrition in a vehicle they already love, which is bread. Now for food number 5, and this includes a massive insight that makes parents say I never knew that. We are talking about healthy oils, specifically olive oil, coconut oil, or even grass-fed butter. Here is the secret. 1 tablespoon of olive oil has 120 calories. That is more calories than a banana, but it takes up 0 room in their stomach. This is what we call an invisible calorie booster. If you are serving pasta, toss it in olive oil before you add the sauce. If you are serving steamed veggies, toss them in butter. You can even add a teaspoon of mild oil to a smoothie. You are literally adding hundreds of calories a day without asking your child to eat a single extra bite of food. This takes the pressure off them to finish a huge plate while ensuring they get the energy they need. Food number 6 is ground meats, specifically dark meat like beef or dark meat chicken and turkey. Toddlers often struggle with steak or chicken breast because it is dry and hard to chew, so they chew it for a minute and then spit it out, which drives us crazy. Ground meat is softer and easier to manage. Beef is packed with iron and zinc, which are critical for appetite regulation. Did you know that low iron levels can actually cause a decrease in appetite, creating a vicious cycle where they do not eat? Because they have low iron, and they have low iron because they do not eat. Using ground beef in a sauce or making soft meatballs can help break that cycle. Food number 7 is sweet potatoes. These are superior to white potatoes for toddlers because they are packed with vitamin A and fiber, but they are also naturally sweet, which makes them more palatable to picky eaters. To turn these into a weight gain meal, do not just steam them, roast them with oil or mash them with plenty of butter and a splash of heavy cream. You can also make sweet potato pancakes by mixing mashed sweet potato with an egg and a little flour. It is a finger food that tastes like a treat but is actually a nutrient-dense meal. Food number 8 is oats, but we have to stop making them with water. Oatmeal made with water is a missed opportunity. Always make oatmeal with whole milk or even canned coconut milk for extra fats. Oats are great for digestion and provide steady energy, but they are bulky, so we need to make every spoonful count. Stir in that nut butter we talked about earlier, or add a dollop of mascarpone cheese, which is a sweet Italian cream cheese that melts beautifully into hot cereal. Food number 9 is fatty fish like salmon. I know what you are thinking, my toddler will never eat fish, but you might be surprised. Salmon is loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, which are non-negotiable for brain health. The trick is presentation. A big slab of fish looks scary. Try mixing canned wild-caught salmon with mayonnaise or mashed avocado to make a salmon salad spread on crackers. Or make salmon cakes, which are basically like chicken nuggets but made with fish and breadcrumbs. If you start them young with these flavors, they will develop a palate for them. But even if they just eat a few bites, the nutritional density is so high it is worth the effort. Finally, food number 10 is smoothies. This is not a specific food, but a delivery system that is essential for weight gain. Sometimes toddlers are just too tired to chew, or they are teething and their gums hurt. A smoothie allows you to pack in milk, yogurt, nut butter, fruit, and even spinach into a drinkable format. You can easily create a 500-calorie smoothie that they will sip happily while watching their favorite show. Just be careful not to serve it right before a meal, or it will ruin their appetite for solid food. Now I want to address a couple of questions I get all the time from parents in our community. One parent asked, "My toddler grazes all day on snacks, but refuses dinner. Does this help them gain weight since they are always eating?" This is a huge misconception. Grazing actually hurts weight gain because the child never gets hungry enough to eat a full nutrient-dense meal. They just snack on low-quality carbs, like crackers or puffs, which fill them up with air and starch, but provide very little fat or protein. You actually want to space meals out by 2 to 3 hours so they come to the table with an appetite. Another parent asked, "My child throws high-calorie food on the floor. Should I offer them something else just so they eat?" This is so hard, but the answer is generally no. If you immediately offer a pouch or a cookie after they throw their dinner, you are teaching them that throwing food unlocks the treat level. Instead, offer a safe food on the plate, like bread or fruit, alongside the new high-calorie food, so there is always something they can eat without a battle. This brings us to the common mistakes to avoid. The biggest one is pressure. The more you hover and say take one more bite, the more their cortisol levels rise, and stress hormones actually shut down appetite physically. It is a biological response. If you are stressed, they are stressed, and nobody eats. Your job is to provide the healthy high-calorie food, and their job is to decide how much to eat. It is called the division of responsibility, and it is the only way to keep mealtime sane. Another mistake is filling up on liquids. If your toddler walks around with a sippy cup of milk or juice all day, they are keeping their stomach constantly full of liquid. Limit milk to about 16 to 20 ounces a day and offer water between meals, but try to stop fluids 30 minutes before dinner to build that hunger for solid food. I know this journey is incredibly stressful and it is easy to feel like every refused meal is a personal rejection, but please remember that toddlers are excellent at regulating their own intake over a week even if their daily intake looks chaotic. You are arming them with the best possible fuel, and that is all you can do. Keep offering the avocado, keep swirling in that olive oil, and trust that their bodies will do the rest. You are doing a wonderful job advocating for your child's health. If you found these tips helpful, or if you have a creative way you get your toddler to eat these foods, please leave a comment below because your tip might be the one that helps another struggling parent tonight. Don't forget to subscribe for more practical parenting guides, and I will see you in the next video.